Good morning, pregame crew. It is Friday, December 23rd, 2022, Christmas Eve. It's also 11 minutes Eve before the PCE. I'm Charcal Lori, and you're at the pregame show. What we do here every weekday, except for next Monday and the following Monday, because the markets will be closed, is I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. My goal is to get you ready for the trading day with all the key levels, key fishing holes and fishing poles that I see out there for you to have a good trading day and apply some of these setups. If you like them, if not, throw them away. And then I try to give you trading concepts, strategy, psychology tips along the way. So we will officially get started when this says 6:30 down here in the far right corner. And it's currently 6:20 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time on December 23rd. And I'll get started with all of those items on my agenda. So let's do an audio visual check and I'll take a few chart requests. Good morning, Andre. Thank you for being here. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Lisa, Greg. Hey, Mal. Let's manifest you a man cave for next year. I manifest it with you. Hi, Tess. Absolutely. Hey, Roger. Bonjour. Hi, Topher, Paul, Casey. What up, Daniel? Slow Devil, so I took the prior day, so let's go look at Tesla. Let me go here, go to the daily. So here, let me pull this up on a different screen real quick. Okay, so the close of Tesla on Wednesday, if we look up here, right here, where the arrow is shaking, right there, close, okay? Look at it, 137.57. All right, so 137 times 90%, which means a 10% haircut. That's 125. Let me see if I don't think I did that right. Did I? Close of yesterday. 137.57. Let me do it one more time just to make sure I didn't hit anything wrong. 137. Yeah, I knew I hit that wrong. So 123.813. That's a 10% reduction from the prior day's close. You just need one share to trade at that level. If one share transacts at that level, it triggers SSR, short sell restriction, meaning you can only short on an uptick. And the purpose of it, it won't keep it from going down, but it should keep it from getting slammed down at a high velocity. So it's just a nice trick to know. The other trick to know is SSR carries over to the next day. So because Tesla was short sell restricted yesterday because it transacted below 123.81, that short sell restriction carries over to the next day, meaning today. So today you can only short Tesla on the ask, on the uptick. You can't short it on the downtick. And it could be a slow bleed all day long. It won't keep Tesla from going lower. It just keeps Tesla from speeding lower, if that makes sense. Hi, Dustin. Hey, Nugget. So glad you're at TCG, Lori. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Jason, Matthew, Mary. Let's look at net, Mary. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God, I love trading. Do you see this? I just not randomly, it's a fact. We had a dark pool level transact at 43.99 and I kept it on my chart for net, and look where we hit yesterday. 44.07. So potential daily double bottom, Mary, and dark pool levels can act as synthetic support and or resistance. That means someone spent a lot of money at $44, and if it dips below $44 or near it, which it did yesterday, you would expect that they would play defense at that level to protect that value as long as they have cash on the sidelines. So our high of yesterday was, come on, 45.45, and we're at 45.50 in pre-market. Let me see something. Did Nat have any upgrades or downgrades? I didn't see anything. Nope. So it is over yesterday's high. That is bullish. Odds still favor. Sorry about these errant lines. Odds still favor a 4-hour lower high and a daily lower high compared to 48.18. I would say it's a bullish thing though. This chart, the way that it looks better than most weekly 8 EMAs, still providing a big headache for net. We'll get started in 5 minutes. We have PCE data in 5 minutes. And let's see, let me update this. And they are expecting 0.2% for month over month November core PCE price index in 4 minutes. And you can always look at the stars to see how important it is. So what is important is the durable goods and the PCE price index. And that data is what the FOMC uses to factor into their equation as to whether they're going to raise and how high. So the 3 stars meaning high volatility expected, especially on a low liquidity day, you can expect even more volatility. So mind your business, mind your orders, make sure you're where you want to be. Bennett. Hey, Bennett, I feel that in my bones. I've had 3 of those. Merry Christmas, my love, Tammy. I hope 2023 is your best year yet and your holidays are filled with love, family and friends, laughter, food. Hey, Carlos. Ciao. Hey, Duke, Jerry. I'm so glad you're back, Bennett. Night Truck, you're here. Hey, sir. Hey, Trader Satoshi. Hey, Jonathan Down, our farmer. Merry Christmas, Bob. Hi, Jane. Merry Christmas to you. No, there is not a long restriction, Paul, to the upside. That's a great question. No. And this was developed in 2010 to keep people from being overly emotional and then just pure technicals take over in this rapid descent. It's just slow down and have more thoughtful transactions, and that's me paraphrasing, of course. Hey, Slow Devil. No, you're a wizard. You send people cats and alligators. Hey, Mary M. Phil. Merry Christmas to you and season's greetings. Hey, Rob. Yeah, hit the like button. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling great, actually. My son is at home and my heart is full. Full, I tell ya. Those babies, those baby boys. If you're a boy mama, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go look at ES. Let's get our levels ready for. This is what I'm looking at, this channel. This is not a technical rising wedge. If I take this bottom level off, you will see that we are getting tiny higher highs without a lot of follow through. That behooves the bears. That means the bull traction is slowing. Odds favor, I'm going to take this trend line off now. Odds favor a 4-hour lower high compared to 391975. Remain open to all possibilities because this is a low liquidity environment and very important data coming out in a low liquidity environment. So this low over here, just a quick tip, this low was created on December 19th in overnight session. Lows or highs that are created during after hours typically don't hold. So we went back, we touched it during regular trading hours. Now this is a stronger support, 3788 than 380350. It's 3788 becomes even stronger. So that level is pretty stiff for me on any pullback. Bulls could look to buy that dip, especially because of the size of that bounce. And this is just new data, new things I'm learning about the market, and I hope to bring it to you next year and we all learn in repetition, and hopefully I don't get too repetitive so we can learn more together, which is my favorite thing. Merry Christmas, Kate, KD, Brandon, Wiz Art. Okay, let me make sure I gave you the levels. Resistance 3866, and look at this Great Wall of Louisiana. Note where it is. 3876. And we'll talk a little more about what happened yesterday after these numbers. Your support 3845 and 3837. And if you look at the bounce size from the high of yesterday to that precipitous drop, we have retraced approximately 57, 60% of that, we have enough room for a higher low relative to 378850. If these numbers are disastrous, of course, anything can happen. And your daily 50 MA is at 389850, up at 3900. Don't forget that either. Wow, big down move. Big down move. Okay. If anybody could post that data, I would greatly appreciate it. Need to find my chat. I lost it. Thank you. If you could post it. All right. So let's look at it the 4 hour real quick. So we broke the low of the prior candle of 38.45. We're recovering pretty well. So we got a double top at 3866, 3864. We just hit 3841. So now the low of this reaction becomes the key support. So we held this 383775 low of overnight. We held it. Thank you. Durables at 2.1, regulars at 0.2. Thank you, Andre in Private Idaho. I appreciate it. We're recovering okay, but this 4 hour chart gives me cause to pause for the bulls. Okay, so we got our reaction. We got all our levels out of the way. Now let's get started with the show. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Charkow Lori. I am a just thrilled chart gal. I am part of the Chart Guys community, which is an honor and a privilege, and I get to teach technical analysis every day to approximately 1,000 of my closest friends in a pretty tight-knit community, considering we're all far and wide spread out around the country. We have different interests. I love options and futures. We have people that love uranium, that we have people that love psychedelics, which I can't even spell, and I don't know I can spell it, but I'm just saying we have divergent interests, but yet we all come together wanting to learn technical analysis together. Technical analysis bridges all of those different specialties. I joined this executive group in Arizona when I lived there, and it was all of these executives from various industries, and I asked the CEO, she sent me there, I was a COO of this physician practice. She's like, I want you to join this group. And I went there and it was construction, salon people. And I'm like, why are you sending me here? And she's like, human resources. It unites all of these different specialties and all of these different industries. We all have the same challenges in business, human resources. Well, regardless of what chart you're looking at, if you freaking love Forex or you love copper, technical analysis unifies all of those sectors. And that's what we do at the Chart Guys community. And what I do here every morning is I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. And I have notes on the other screen that I use to keep myself organized. And I copy and share those with my community when I'm done. All right. So I've got a new name for this today, and I'm just kind of trying it out on y'all. We're still pulling down. We broke the low of the reaction. That is a bearish note. So we have broken the low of the reaction just by a few dollars so far. Okay, it's convincing. Now we have a bearish tone. 4 hour lower high is most likely set. All right. So back to the market environment dossier. So I thought I give you all of this data, and if you've been with me on this journey for almost 2 years in April, thank you for being here and being with me and helping me evolve and giving me feedback. So this table I created a few months ago, and I'm starting to now kind of hone in on what's the most important thing. Here are the components that I evaluate every morning. These are my arbitrary scores based on my personal trading experience and whether it's a bull or a bear note and anything I'm noting. And sometimes it's just not important. So like VIX, I don't care what VIX is doing right now. So maybe I don't include everything on the table every day. That would mean I'm possibly putting my own bias on the chart. So it's something I have to think through, but I just want to walk you through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So if you can see a flaw in what I'm doing, you could say, hey, Lori, have you thought about this? Because I'm always open to your ideas. So these are the 4 things that are the most, six things that are most important to me, all right? The 4-hour trend, super important. 4-hour, lower high, the more likely scenario on this bounce. That's pretty important. So that goes into the dossier, and I throw out the VIX. Remember yesterday, was it yesterday we had that NASDAQ potential 8-hour inverse head and shoulders? That's thrown out the window. That's data that's no longer pertinent or relevant. I don't care. Tesla is an anomaly. It's not, it has some fundamental stuff going on. I throw it out. Yes, it's been bearish. So I have it checked bearish. Should I even have it checked bearish? Because it is doing its own thing. It is a huge weight in the market, but they do have some odd things going there. So basically, I'm highlighting what the most important things are for me. So let's go over it. That 4-hour trend. Dixie has 4-hour inside bars, which have likely broken now. We're breaking bull, and that is bearish for the market. So here, we checked bear. That's bearish for the market because if the dollar is strong, that's typically a headwind for equities. Bonds had a daily double bottom. Did we break bear? Not yet. Let's see, 12719. Okay, we're right here. We're knocking on support as we speak. We have a triple bottom right here on the daily. That's a classic daily bear flag pattern. It confirms below 12719. If this were to confirm to the downside, that is bearish equities. We have it checked off here, bear. Apple, potential daily bear flag. Super, super important chart for the market. We have a potential 4-hour bear flag, and I want you to look at the monthly. 12904 is holding. And then the prior, let's see, what day was that? Tuesday's low is holding. The low of 12989 is holding. Yesterday we hit 130.30. We came within 41 cents of Tuesday's low. Daily double bottom. Super important level. Super important. It's so important. Let's stop and do an alert. Tell me when it hits 130. Tell me if it hits 12925, right before that 12904, because I want to be able to look at it and assess. So super important, Apple, XLF and XLV, how they behave. They've been saving the market to a degree. And does their bullishness continue? So they're pulling back a little bit, but they have enough room for higher low. As long as 33.21 is holding, it is not game over for bulls. XLV, as long as the low of yesterday is holding, 134.26, plenty of room for higher low. It's not game over for the bulls. Does that make sense of how I've highlighted? And I'm saying, okay, for today's dossier, like today's information, today's table, here is the most important facts that I'm bringing forward. And here's all the stuff that I was really considering yesterday, and now I don't give two flips about. Does that make sense? Like Hang Seng is slightly red. DAX is slightly green. Don't care. It's not an important, the Hang Seng narrative of more negative COVID headlines. Could it impact it? Yes. But I just don't think it's important. So I want to make sure that we're always focused on the most important things and we don't overload our brain with 20 things that we need to be assessing to arrive at a conclusion. You're in Pensacola. Oh, I love Pensacola. Let's see. It did react. ESH reacted. So tomato juice 12, you see this green dot here? I am live on CME mini data on ESH. So you're using ESH and you don't have live data, so you're 15 minutes delayed. So it's not 6:45 yet. At 6, you'll start seeing that reaction around 6:46 because your data is delayed. So yes, use SPX 500 USD so you can have live data if you don't pay for the futures data. Nice recovery, nice strong recovery actually. So our ES level, let me go back to continuous contract. 3862 is that double top, super important level. A bear could look to top fish that. The They do have elevated volume pushing up on this recovery, so be careful. Okay, careful bears. 38.66 is the level that has to hold for market bears. We are at base camp, I know, right? Okay, let's, so I went over that. Now let's go over NASDAQ. Nice recovery. And do you remember my bias yesterday? I told you about the junior traders and we're comfortable trading bull, and then we open and we freaking dump like crazy, which is kind of not so funny, but kind of funny. That type of severe move that we had yesterday here, this extreme move to the downside, and this is a pretty extreme recovery as well. How does that happen? How do we slice through this like a hot knife through butter? Low liquidity, low volume environments. You can get these type of moves. Sometimes in low volume, it can be boring. However, this year has been anything but boring. So these low volume environments have created algo driven environments that are just super, super twitchy. That's probably the best word I could use to describe it. RTY holding up pretty well. 4-hour lower high, still the more likely scenario. Regardless of what this PCE data is, regardless of is Santa Claus late or not, 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario on all Fab 4 of our Fab 4 indices. Now, let's see if I can show you. What we could be developing, here's hopeful bulls are hoping for this, where we have some type of diamond bearish reversal forming on all of these, or not all, but some of these indices where you got that lower low without a lot of follow through. These could be diamond bullish reversal patterns, but this pattern is less reliable for me. I'm just going to stick with the 4-hour because I'm only trading half a day today. Plus, all I care about is what's in front of me today and then all the cooking I got to do. So, ES, NASDAQ, I gave you levels, RTY. Okay, where's YM? Okay, so we're still below the hourly 50 MA on YM. It's still proving to be pretty staunch resistance. You have the high of this reaction, 33358. Your next resistance, 33400. Again, 4-hour lower high, the more likely scenario. And if you're watching this show, if you could hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, US 10-year. Oh man, it just broke bull by 0.008 and is retracting. This is bearish for the market if this bullish move continues, but maybe, baby, they got a double top and that would be good for QQQ. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has a potential two week? Potential 2-week bear flag, and was it a 2-day as well? Yeah, and a potential 2-day bear flag. So Bitcoin's going nowhere fast. You know what would have been ideal? If we would have seen this high, this low and this high would have been a sell and iron condor above here and below here. Because of the extremeness of this move, you could expect digestion of that pattern, and that's where you sell premium. Okay, market's giddying up now. We're above that 3866. 3876 is your next synthetic resistance. All right. Ethereum had an hourly EQ, and we're breaking bull above 122923. Your next resistance, 123876. The key support on a go-forward basis is the low of the reaction, 1210. All right. Gold. I was bearish yesterday. I've been bearish up here at this weekly 50 MA. And we have a bit of a bearish a diamond bearish reversal pattern. I drew this for you yesterday, and that 1836 resistance is holding. So we have a diamond bearish reversal pattern and 4-hour lower high, the more likely scenario. You have enough room for higher low compared to 1792, and your next resistance is up at 1829. Oil. 79.90 resistance coming in hot. Bears were hoping for a diamond bearish reversal pattern. As Bears look for a weekly lower high. We're in a daily uptrend. A top fish of a 4-hour lower high compared to 79.90 makes sense to me. But we got to have the bulls cool their jets. If you could just possibly get a 2-minute, well, I guess you have a trend change. You could top fish 79.71 here and put your stop at 79.76, and it'd be a quick stop out if you're wrong. But it looks like the dollar is most likely rolling over. Yes. So that's going to help oil bulls. So careful with that idea. Nat gas. Nat gas just had a really cool setup. Okay, we're looking for a potential monthly higher low compared to 475. We hit 4865 this morning, and I posted this setup. When you have a bullish pattern, potential reversal pattern, coming into a key support, like 475, those are ideal risk to reward scenarios. Let me show you. NG potential 30-minute falling wedge as we approach monthly support. It has 7 minutes to close inside that trend line, or it's just another hopeful bull pattern busted. High risk trade setup with high probability of getting stopped out. Nice risk to reward if it works. Do you see how those trade setups develop? So my fishing hole, let's go over this. Fishing hole is monthly high or low. My fishing, let's type it. i.e. thesis, monthly higher low setup or setup. It's not guaranteed. Fishing pole is looking for a bullish reversal pattern on a shorter term time frame as it approaches a key support. The key support and above thesis. Y'all, you know, some days I'm like a blonde up in here and it's like I can't speak succinctly, and other days I feel like I'm hitting it. I feel like this morning I'm being as clear as I'm capable of being. So that's what my goal here every day is, to bring you a fishing hole. Here's a setup. And here's a potential fishing pole. Sometimes when I look at it, it's setting up real time and I can give you a trade right there and say, here's a fish, or here's the bait, and I can help you. Other times I say, here's a fishing hole, and look for ABC to happen intraday. And that's what you're trying to learn. You don't want to be getting handouts the rest of your trading career. You want to be able to set up your own fishing hole scans and your fishing pole strategies that you can depend on that work with you. And if any of that helped you, hit that like button. Okay, Apple. Daily double bottom for this key market to hold 12904 monthly key support. It has a potential 4-hour bear flag. Bulls are battling back now. We got 12989 is super important, and then that 12904. If Apple can hold that along with XLF and XLV, that's good for market bulls. Amazon, potential 4-hour bear flag. Bulls are battling right here. Again, I get up at 3 in the morning, so God knows what I'm going to say or type. Can you imagine being my kid and listening to this show? It's like, oh my God, my mom is crazy. All right. I'm going to make it where you can read this. Amazon weekly, daily, 4-hour charts. The RSI looks like somebody trying to throw a cat in water. It won't dip its toe below. Methodical selling by the bears. Potential 4-hour bear flag. Y'all look at this RSI. Tammy, I appreciate you. Thank you, Lori and Tammy. I appreciate y'all. Look, weekly RSI is 33. Daily RSI is 34. This 4-hour really made me laugh. Look at it. Doesn't that look like you're trying to throw a cat underwater? They're like, oh no. This has been super methodical selling buy the bears on the weekly, daily, and 4-hour. It's just been a slow throwaway of shares. So, it's funny. I would love to have all of you as kids. Or friends. Actually, forget kids. For friends, my friends, because y'all are. Support 8310 right here on Amazon. If we can bounce just a little bit harder, y'all, we may have an inside day. Look at the size of yesterday's range. Look at that. So the high of yesterday, 85.68. Do y'all see that? We have bounced up to the golden pocket of yesterday's retrace. So now what? We have enough room to pull back, get a higher low, and just tighten up. So be careful for a whole lot of nothing today too, because that is absolutely a possibility with the size of yesterday's range. Adopt you. My kids would probably tell you different. Okay. NVIDIA, what did I write? Potential 4-hour bear flag. Y'all, this is ugly. Those semiconductors led the way down, and NVIDIA at one point almost went SSR yesterday. It almost hit 10% down. So NVIDIA, semis are where it's at if you're looking for a short today. If the market starts getting kind of sluggish again, I would look for the semis to short. Tesla, resistance 12975, support 12226. Remember, so yesterday I posted in our room and on Twitter, 123.81 was that SSR level, and that's where we could start seeing some slowing. This Tesla downside move, as it could act as synthetic support and then slow that slam down. And that's exactly what happened. So just remember that number. It's not in play today, but price has memory. Of course, we want to see 12226. And I just imagine, like, the dog and pony show, you have a man like dancing, trying to entertain, like the jester trying to entertain the king. Like that's what Elon was doing, just trying to entertain the investors. And he was just doing major damage control attempts yesterday. We'll see how the market, the investors, did they buy his attempts? Was it believable? We'll see how successful it is. Remember, SSR rules are still in effect. You can only short on the uptick. So Tesla may not get that rapid move to the downside like it got yesterday. So if you're looking to say, oh crap, I missed yesterday's move, so I'm going to buy $100 puts today, out the money for a penny, and I'm going to become a millionaire. Just know that it's under SSR. We're under a different environment. Could it go to 100 today? For sure. Could it go to $150? For sure. You don't know what's going to happen, so don't get overly leveraged for the downside when you have a little, something kind of holding you back. Man, I almost made a sound effect and then it escaped me. And also TD Ameritrade cut off the 4 times leverage buying power for daytime buying power for Tesla at 2 p.m. Eastern, just to protect itself and its clients. And that could have had something to do with the slowing of yesterday's move. And I posted all of this in our chat room. We popped here after we hit SSR. We popped, and then we had a nice move up. And guess where TD Ameritrade cut off the day trading buying power? Right here. And the market was still popping, and Tesla started pulling back. And I don't know if other brokers did it as well, but I just want you to know that there are, so here, SSR, here, TD Ameritrade cut off the 4 times leverage day trading buying power. There are things that happen behind the scenes that can impact price. We know price is the most important thing, but when something starts behaving oddly and you don't understand it, just back away. Back away, just like a bad girlfriend. Like, she starts behaving oddly, back away. You don't have to get involved. So if Tesla's behaving strangely, just back away. We've had a lot of boyfriend-girlfriend analogies. Ape, your key levels are $1.99, $2.35. Your key supports are $1.60, that high of pre-market yesterday. And first $1.61. $1.60, then $1.18. This is ninjas only. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It should have a ton of volatility today. I don't trade these, but ninjas may look for some tightening ranges. SSR remains in effect. So today, so yesterday it got triggered and it follows the next day. Jorge, I agree. I don't want you as my kid. You are sassy like my kids now. Hey, Baze, how are you? I'll try to do ADA for you. So, Baze, what I do here every day is I go over kind of a fixed set of menu of indices, futures, commodities, and then the 4 of the high beta stocks. And then I try to find 4 setups that are moving for the day, what I call Queen of the Mountain trades. And then if I have time, I try to take a few chart requests. But in general, I don't do a lot of chart requests on this show, but I do teach a lot of technical analysis. So hopefully you'll hang around and join us next week. I'll be back live Tuesday. Caterpillar, that was one of our picks this week. I like a pullback buy on Caterpillar. JPM, if y'all been around here, y'all know I love JPM for its technical. It's very, very technical, meaning that it behaves like it should. Like Neo and Apple behaves like a petulant child. JPM behaves like a boarding school child. It behaves well. So if you need something that is a little bit cleaner with technicals, and it doesn't mean it's always clean, God knows. But we were looking for a weekly higher low, and yesterday hit a daily double bottom, broke by 2 pennies at the daily 50 EMA, and look at that long lower wick. Just a beauty. I just want to show you there's some clean setups out there. You don't have to keep taking junk setups. I like a pullback buy on JPM as long as the low of yesterday holds. XLE, I was doing this in my head. I was like a little kid. Again. You know, they're like, Aunt Lori, do it again. Like you do these tricks for your nieces, nephews, or your kids. And it's like yesterday we had the most beautiful short on XLE. If you took it, let me know. Love to hear from you. Yesterday, this was our Queen of the Mountain trade, top fish of 87.36. And it worked beautifully. So with that 4-hour lower high thesis in my head on oil, I like the idea of top fishing XLE again against 85.26. And private Idaho, just to push back a little bit, there are no easy trades. None. There are some that are more straightforward, and that's probably a better word to use versus easy. As someone who teaches technical analysis, at least for me, I have to refrain from using the word easy as much as possible because it can discourage newer traders, because this isn't easy. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it and making a ton of money. This is very, very, very difficult. And what makes it the most difficult is your own mind and your own lack of emotional control and ego and self-sabotage and all of those things. This is a very difficult occupation that some of you are attempting to take on and others are doing full time. So I'm going to do ADA real quick as a nod to our first time viewer. Potential daily bear flag. As long as it stays below 0.2747, bear flag remains the more likely scenario. Weekly lower low. Oversold doesn't matter for me because to me this is a lot of fundamentals. 4-hour has plenty of room for a higher low. That's encouraging. Hourly, we got a lower low without a lot of follow through. That's slightly encouraging for bulls. So if you're looking for a trade setup, I would think a pullback buy against 2559 makes sense. Looking for that 4-hour higher low for possible continuation, being cognizant of the fact that we have a daily bear flag, and it's probably easier to just short bounces than it is to buy pullbacks. Y'all, this was a wonderful session. I felt like I had flow state, and for me, and I haven't been at this game long enough as Dan, so what I identify as flow state is not near what Charting Me and Dan's flow state is, but it was pretty fun morning with y'all, and I'm so glad you're here. If you could give me a follow on Twitter at ChartGalLori, I'd greatly appreciate it, and check us out at chartguys.com. TCGers, I'll copy these notes and put it in the room in just a second. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you have a wonderful weekend with your family. TCGers, I'll be in the room, and I'll be midday live as well, and use stop losses.